I feel like the weatherman sitting in the chair. Is it recording?
Okay, how we doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you here today. This is Samantha Roe. She is a junior at Niceville High School. How are you guys ranked this year? You guys gonna be any good?
Yes, sir. We have a pretty solid team this year. I think we only have one pitcher right now.
Might be you being out of pitcher. You gonna
Yes,
pitch?
sir. I've been pitching a little bit here and there for just in case for a backup thing.
Oh my.
But hopefully we don't have to go to that. We have a sophomore coming up, and she's doing really well right now, so it's probably going to be our senior and her.
All right, cool. So how much time does your high school team put in for prep? I think your high school team, from what I understand, is you guys do a lot of good training. The coaches get you guys working in the off season.
Yes, sir. We do a lot of work in the off season. We do a ton of conditioning stuff to make sure we're ready for the season. We lift weights. We've been doing a little bit more softball stuff here and there. But it's been great getting back into things. We look pretty strong this year.
Yeah. Yes. So how about the COVID crisis? Has that thing caused you a lot of pain?
It was absolutely crazy. So we didn't get our season last year. We've played a few games. We had one tournament, I think 3 other games, but then our season got cut off. And so we did nothing. There was no travel ball or anything for a while. So that just had me going a little bit crazy. All I could do is practice by myself and work out by myself and stuff like that.
So how did you work that? I mean, did a lot of girls, I mean, it's hard to work out, right? Everyone's shut down. Facilities are shut down. Of course, you work out here with us a lot, but you do a lot of stuff on the side. I mean, you're taking care of business. Sammy, to me, is she works harder. It's always amazing to me that the best players always seem to work the hardest. It's like she doesn't need to come out here all the time, but she comes out and helps out with camps and clinics and summer camp. She's always wanting to play, and I think, to me, you tell me if I'm wrong here, you're never good enough.
Yes, sir. There's always something that can get better. You're never good enough. Nobody's ever going to be the best player out there, anything like that. There's always something anyone can improve on. I mean, I love it, so it's easier for me to want to do it because I love coming out here, working out. Even if it's just hanging out, helping out around here, I love it. So any chance I get, I'm out here.
It's strange because it's like when I talk with players or work with players, you see them and they work. They want to hit, and it's all they want to do is hit. They want to throw a little bit. A few ground balls would be nice, but they don't seem to want to take care of the full package. I mean, if you really want to sell out in this game, you got to be covering everything, right? Defense, speed, strength, all that. And it's amazing to me how you stay fired up to do that. How do you stay inspired to keep working like you do?
So I really enjoy pushing myself. I love the camaraderie of just like having everyone in here. Even when it's by myself, I find it so much fun learning new things, getting better, and just pushing myself, getting able to work on the little things.
Right, this is like Sammy signed with the University of Florida going into 8th grade. Those rules no longer apply, so you're not allowed to do it now until your junior year. But tell us a little bit about that. Is that a good thing, you think, for players to be able to sign when they were younger, or is it better now that they're doing it later?
So my thing with me committing so young, I knew that's exactly what I wanted. So I was in the recruiting process when I was pretty young.
How young?
I probably started going to camps and stuff 6th grade when I seriously was like, okay, this is definitely what I want to do. I'm just in love with this. So I started going to camps. I started getting on like the coach's radar and everything. And then 7th grade year, I kind of made my top 3. And I was like, okay.
Top 3 schools?
Top 3 schools, yes sir. And I narrowed it down. I knew I wanted to be close to home. I knew that I wanted to feel like I was part of a family when I was with the team. And so just Florida was the best fit for me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You still feeling that way today?
Yes, sir. I'm going to change it.
Yeah, I was wondering because it's, you've been by a few different magazines or news people. You're one of the top players in the country. You've been ranked preseason #1 player now, your second year in a row.
Yes.
And that to me, some people could say that's a lot of pressure. How do you deal with that?
I just think, well, it's just a game. Just if I didn't love it, if I didn't want to, see those results, I mean, I would want to work at it. But I love it, so it's kind of just I'm playing a game, playing the thing I love.
Do you feel any pressure about it, or is it just?
I think the first few times after the rankings came out and everything, I was like, oh my gosh, there's just a ton of weight on my shoulders. It's kind of like losing track of things a little bit. Like forgetting like, oh, it's just a game. I've been playing this since I was 9 years old. It's the same game. So
Right.
just after I got that, I was like, well, I mean, whatever happens, happens.
That's a good way to look at it, right? Which means to me, short memory.
Yes, sir.
And I know you've been working on that because
Definitely.
you've had, you're a pretty good player, so you don't struggle a ton. It doesn't seem like now, but when you do, I've seen you bring it back with you a little bit, and you worry about it, and that's something that has to be, I believe, especially with young players, and I know that you are actually working on that, right? Letting things go, just continue to work. Today's about getting better, and what happens tomorrow is going to be a lot of it's going to be because of your prep. Right. And so I got to commend you, though. Your preparation you're on it. I mean,
thank you.
And can you talk a little bit about that? When you practice, are you just going through the movements? Do you do a lot of visualization?
So when I practice, I like to start off on the bag, doing my hand drills and stuff like that. And then I like to think, okay, so she throws me an outside pitch. I got to keep my hands inside, got to keep my head back, just things like that. I really focus on my mechanics. Because all else in the game, you're not going to be thinking, well, got to do this, got to do this. You might be thinking, got to keep your head back, but your mechanics take control in games, right? So I just really think I drill my mechanics in here so that when I get on the field, it's just muscle memory.
Do you? I like to talk about having a few cues, right? A few things in my mind, or a few things in your mind that. If you do these one or two things, that it takes a lot of other good mechanical things with you, right? So if there's one thing that you harp on that you need to have in position, or something you take to the plate with you that gives you confidence, or gives you the ability to succeed, is there something you use as a foundation that you always go back to?
So my biggest thing, it always comes back to my head. And when I'm doing bad and I just get inside, like I get on myself, I'm like, what's going wrong? Why am I so bad? I look back on videos like, oh, my head's out in front. Or I let my head come forward instead of keeping it back where it should be. So that's a big thing that I have to focus on, is pushing my head back, keeping that left side of my nose on the ball, staying in the strike zone. Those are some big things for me.
Those are pretty exact points, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, putting your head in there just any which way is probably not going to do it.
Right. Keep it straight.
You do wrong with your head that you do over and over? Is it sideways, left, up, or is it anything in particular you look out for?
So sometimes I catch myself pulling my head up too soon, and because I like to see my results pretty quick, so I just have to think about keeping my head down through the ball, and not getting too excited to see it.
That temptation, that has to be practiced.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You lift your head up in practice, you're going to lift it up in the game. So, other thing I was going to say, catching. Right, Sammy was recruited as a catcher, and we got to training, and she got to catching pretty well in a very short period of time. Got a good understanding of it, so we decided to move into the infield. Quickly, we went into the infield, and she got that. And since then, you haven't caught at your high school.
No, sir.
For 2 years, right?
Right. I've caught a little on and off, but for high school, I'm primarily shortstop.
Would you recommend training like that with all these other girls? They're finding one position at a young age, and you're still expanding all your abilities.
Right. Once you have your position, once you know that's what you want to do, work on it. Get that down. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but work as hard as you can there. But it's always good to be able to play other positions. I mean, getting recruited, it's going to be easier to get recruited as a utility player than just one person who can only play one spot, right? It's between you and another girl. One girl who can just catch and one girl who can catch, play short, second, third. I mean, her odds just have a lot better
I
chance.
can tell you as a manager, I want that girl.
Right.
Because if I can only carry so many players, I want a girl that can be a jack of all trades. That definitely helps. And you're hitting. Sammy's taking the switch hitting. And we've been working on it for 2 years, and she has yet to really use it in a game. And so she's like a master slap hitter now that we'll never know about. Are you going to break it out this year? Tell us. You're going to hit a little left-handed?
I'm going to try a little left-handed, starting school ball. I'm going to try a little bit more left-handed stuff. If you need a ball on the ground, I'm going to try it. I just need to work on getting more confident on that side of the plate.
Right. How about if they do put you at pitcher? Are they actually working you at pitcher?
Not really so far. It's just a really just-in-case thing. So our pitcher for high school right now, she's been having a little bit of back problems and things like that. So she's been off and on. So if we come down with one pitcher, maybe I'll throw a few innings just to help out.
That'll be fun.
Yes, sir.
I know how I see how you play and how you go about your business. It's you're all in. It seems like right? You're all in, and you're going to take the good with the bad. How do you keep that mindset? What do you think the mindset is that has gotten you to this point so far? Is it just that you really love to play and you play with a lot of joy, or you're just motivated to be the best player, or are you just testing yourself all the time? What is it that gets you motivated?
All right, so I play because I absolutely love it. And I've always known that I wanted to push myself, see how hard I could push myself, see where it could get me. So I've been really just driving myself, forcing myself, even some days where I just want to lay down. I'm like, no, you got it, let's go, let's get it going, And I love it so much, I want to play at the next level. So in order to do that, I have to work. And I have to keep working in order to be where I want to be.
Sacrifice, right?
Yes, sir.
Sacrifice. So what is your plan from now till the spring season starts?
From right now to the spring season is I just got to get it. We got to go fast all the way down. We got to push ourselves, especially right now with this fall season coming towards an end. Just during that off season, it's kind of hard to stay on track. But this year I really want to focus on, working out as much as possible, hitting every day, and just making sure that nothing falls off.
Have you set any goals? Do you have any short-term goals, long-term goals, speed, strength, any of that stuff?
Just trying to get stronger, get faster, and not letting one outweigh the other. So I'm not just going to lift every day and forget about running, or run every day and forget about lifting. I'm going to keep it balanced to try to be just that even player. And
that tells me, and I've seen it so often, there's a lot of work involved.
Yes, sir.
Right? If you want to cover all your bases, it's going to take some dedication and some sacrifice. And you do a great job at it, Sammy.
Thank you.
It's fun watching you walk, and we watching you work, and we use you as an example. I use her as an example in here a lot of times. Try and work with Sammy a little bit and we'll see what you're made of, because she'll grind you into the ground, man. She's ready to play every day, and I really appreciate that. I look at it with the game's going to be around. The game was around before you, right? The game's going to be around after you. So treat the game with respect, right? And get out there and play your butt off. Is there a difference between the way girls handle a slump?
Big time, beautiful time.
Or girls are in the dugout compared to guys. What do you see as the difference?
So for girls, well, for me at least, whenever I start just doing really bad, sometimes I just gotta take a week off, forget that I play a sport, and I gotta go shopping, get me some new shoes, new outfit maybe, get my confidence back. Okay, you're good.
So your answer to fixing a slump or dealing with a downtime is retail therapy.
Retail therapy, yes. Shopping, it's amazing. Get your nails done, perfect.
No, honestly. Beside that, what would you recommend to girls when they get in a slump? What's a good another way out of it? Some way out, things that you use to get back on it.
So whenever I get into a slump, I just go back to my mechanics. Honestly, I just think, okay, you didn't forget how to hit. If you've been working on this for such a long time, just think about where's your head at. I mean, is your head in the right position? Are your hands doing what they need to be doing in order for you to be successful? And just really breaking everything back down. not getting overwhelmed with it.
Getting simple, not trying to do too much.
Right.
I always talk to guys about, that short list. I know you have a short list. What are the things that you need to do to have success? Like, for me, are you getting a good pitch? Right? Do you have a game plan? Right? Or now all of a sudden you don't have a plan at all and you're just up there wailing, right? To narrow that focus, right? Like you said, you go to your head to make sure your head's in control. So if your head's in control, that you're probably getting the strike zone in control and being able to hit a good pitch, right?
Right.
So kind of more like stay out of your own head and compete. Right? What do you need to do to have success rather than call yourself out and say that I'm no good anymore, I lost it, or I'm struggling. What can you do to get back in the game, right?
Right.
And you keep it simple?
I keep it simple. I just, you know what, you're okay. I got to take a deep breath for a second, realize that it's a game you've been playing for your whole life. Just fix your head, get your hands to the right spot, swing at good pitches, and just give yourself a chance up there. I mean, if you're up there doubting yourself, you basically already lost the battle. So give yourself a chance, come up with a game plan, boost yourself up. Like, you know what, I know I'm about to get a hit right here. Like, this is my time.
Right. Awesome. Do you have a routine that you go through? Do you rely on a routine for hitting or for defense? Do you do certain things before games just to prep yourself and you do it routinely, or you just every day you feel a little bit different, you do different stuff?
So I usually, for our team, we have our setup. We do light flights, and then our teammate brings like this Nerf gun and throws like these little pebbles at us, and we hit off of those. And then I have to, after I finish all that, I go back to the tee and I do my leg swings. I have to do leg swings at least once or twice. They don't even have to be a lot. And
What does that do for you? Does it help you get rhythm, or?
It gives me rhythm, and it just relaxes me. It kind of like, okay, you got this. We'll know a little bit about a team beforehand, so we're like, okay, this is what she's going to throw you, so let's just get into a rhythm, know it's coming, be ready, be prepared. And then my thing is that I can't hit too much before a game. If I'm sitting up when we're doing soft toss and stuff, I'm sitting there just hack after hack after hack. That messes me up. That makes me think about it way too much, and I get in my own head, and I'm going crazy. So I do like 4 or 5 swings at each station, and then I do my leg swings, then I'm good. That's what I hit before the game. Then for defense, or for catching stuff, I usually do some blocking stuff, picking stuff mainly, before a game. And I work with my pitchers. If I know who I'm catching before the game, me and my pitcher will get together, we'll talk about, all right, this is how we're going to work this game, we got each other's back. And that's just what I do.
Right, sounds good. You got to be prepared, right? Everybody has their own little thing that they do differently, right? What gets one person ready doesn't get another person ready.
Right.
But that rhythm stuff, that sounds good, right? It's kind of relaxing when you get into an easy flow, just like swinging and stuff. It connected, right? It's kind of connected, making sure everything's working all together. Because I know, for me, I get all hyped up, right? And next thing you know, you're saying, you're just hacking, and you're looking for results right off the bat, and instead of trying to get a feeling of being relaxed and calm and understanding yourself, right? It's kind of maybe like a little bit of meditation almost, like
exactly.
when you're doing the leg swings. It's kind of some personal time.
Right, getting yourself in that zone.
Very nice, very nice. Good stuff. Well, best of luck.
All right, thank you so much.